Good morning, gamers. Welcome to another recap video here.
This is going to be a little bit more of a controversial one. I thought the Skyline gear controversy was going to be all of the controversy we were going to have for the race, aside from maybe a 16-hour discussion towards the end. But we got to some shit that's happened on Anduin today.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty wild ride. A lot of just stuff getting made up all in Twitch chats and stuff.
For the record, Liquid and Echo have killed Anduin.
Right.
They're both 8 out of 11 mythic, as you see on our ticker.
Wow, that is such a cool ticker. So professionally done.
We're so sick.
So very cool. Yeah, and then right behind them, we got SK Pieces, we got Skyline, we got Method, we got BDGG. Those guilds are all on Anduin as well. The current status there, SK Pieces has it around 39%, so they're pretty close to entering that last phase. Skyline, 60%. Method, 87. BDGG, 89. So that means they're still pushing into that first intermission and haven't really gotten that going yet.
Okay, so let's talk about Liquid's Anduin kill. They did get world first Anduin. I think that was about 8 hours ago at the time of us recording this.
All I know is I went to bed, I woke up, and both guilds had killed the boss.
Yes, so you missed out on a bunch. So we're going to have to recap this. So Liquid ended up having some really good pulls. They kind of stalled out at around like the 9% mark on Anduin, but they were doing the fight the intended way. Then, and this is just like part of the context, Blizzard decided that the Empowered Wicked Star's hitbox wasn't actively reflecting the visual for the Empowered Wicked Star.
Right,
which
it was
is
too big, right?
Yes.
Like you'd be getting hit and it would not look like you deserved to get hit, and so that felt bad, and they wanted to fix that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is common that they try to make something a little bit more reasonable.
They certainly don't like it when the hitbox is scuffed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this did happen on Painsmith. They fixed like the spikes on Painsmith kind of thing. But that was like a latency thing. It was a little bit different.
Right.
Anyways, so Blizzard was like, all right, let's fix the hitbox on the Empowered Wicked Star. And it's only the Empowered Wicked Star, but they reduced the hitbox down to like 1 pixel.
Pretty close to impossible to get hit by this thing anymore. Here's a quick look at what this is looking like now. This is Deep Shade. You see he does die. Actually, let me go back to the very start of this clip.
Oh, no, it's right there.
Okay, yeah. You see this star coming through him in a second here? Doesn't even move at all, and the star passes over him. Does die to the dot eventually there.
I didn't die to the star, died to a different dot.
Yeah, exactly. Not the star. The star notably did not hit him there. So that's exactly what it looks like now. It's basically a non-mechanic in the last phase as of right now.
So Liquid, while they were stalling out at 9% HP, they had a P3 pull at like the moment that these stars got hot fixed, or bug fixed, whatever you want to call it, and then immediately killed the boss because basically people weren't getting hit by the Wicked Star. Scott ended up soloing the boss from like 2.5% HP. It was like
very cool.
It was actually a really sick kill, and I would highly recommend going back and watching the Liquid kill. But the fact that it died with this bug active means that Blizzard is far less likely to fix it. Kind of similar to what they did on Raw Din back in Nyloth, if you remember that, where Guild killed it with that Infernal Grimoire bug. And so then Blizzard was like, okay, well,
we'll leave this for one reset.
We'll leave this for one reset kind of thing.
Yeah, so my take on this is...
That's unfortunate.
Obviously, it's unfortunate. I don't think anybody between Liquid or Echo did anything wrong in this situation, like with the boss encounter. Certainly, I think both guilds had some like reaction to it that may certainly have been regrettable, and I think has been apologized for in some spots as well, as everybody's realized exactly what happened. Because initially, when you look at a pull like that, you're like, oh, maybe they found a way to just completely exploit this. And it's like, no, it was just Blizzard fixed it and scuffed it. So, yeah, I think that from a tactical perspective, much as it may seem like if they nerf the boss and Liquid then kills it on that pull, it's good for Liquid. I actually think that it was good for Echo.
Yes.
That it was nerfed in this way, because I think Echo had longer to go on that pre-nerf version of the boss, and there was much more time that got shaved off of Anduin prog for them than got shaved off of it for Liquid as a result of P3 getting easier.
Echo's still behind, but now they went from being behind 12 hours to being behind 5 hours.
Yeah, now it's always hard to count how far behind they are, because if they are behind 5 hours but they're about to go to sleep and Liquid's just woken up, it's like, okay, well, that time is going to evaporate, right, during that sleep, but then the reverse will happen again when Liquid goes to sleep.
Yeah. So now the race has gotten incredibly close, and it's off the back. Like, it is kind of unfortunate. This allowed Echo to catch up a ton, in my opinion.
I do think this was good for Echo. I don't think that Echo should be blamed for it being good for them, and similarly, I don't think Liquid should be blamed for killing the boss when this first happened. You know, even if they had been able to identify it mid-pull that it was bugged, and they weren't just like, it wasn't just being weird, they weren't just getting lucky, they weren't just insane gamers that were actually dodging every single one, I think it's unreasonable to blame them for that one as well. So really, as always in this situation, if you're being weird towards members of either guild, just know that the people in the guild that you're supporting think you're being weird and wrong.
Exactly.
Don't do that. So,
all right. So with Anduin dying, amidst of a little bit of controversy, I thought that we were just going to talk about like a couple Anduin kills be kind of normal.
I don't know if the boss would have died today without this. I think for Echo it probably wouldn't have, and for Liquid it would probably be dying towards the end of their day.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, but Liquid would have been really close.
It might have been in a spot where like Liquid can kill it with an insanely well played pull, which is always a possibility for that guild.
However, we have now seen a decent number of pulls on Lords of Dread, and so Lords of Dread, the mythic mechanics are Contessa and Mal'Ganis. Like whenever they go into their 100% energy phase, they do a little bit of different stuff. Mal'Ganis summons like the sleep cloud. And then Contessa, whenever she's doing the Among Us phase, you have to be within 8 yards of people. The fight, honestly, it looks like it requires a little bit more healing than Heroic, but ultimately it seems very similar. The big takeaway, though, is a 9-minute enrage.
Right, so we are seeing that prove to be a serious damage optimization check as of so far. Liquid are 29 pulls in at 17% on that boss. Echo a few less pulls. And I think at 45, something like that. So I wouldn't look at that and be like, oh my god, they're 20% off the enrage. It's unkillable, right? It's more a case of like, okay, the early pulls, the optimization's not there yet. Notably, the bosses have a 100% increased damage taken from AoE phase, which Liquid is deploying those survival hunters, doing huge amounts of damage. That almost all their damage is coded as AoE, including the parts that often are just used in their single target rotation.
As you've just woken up, basically almost the whole entire comp for Lords of Dread is like a melee cleave comp.
Right.
Warrior's really fucking good. Enhancement Shaman, really fucking good. Serve Hunter.
Tettles. Oh my goodness.
Incredibly fucking good.
The third time we're going to be off the air very soon.
Frost Death Knight, also just
my ears.
Incredible.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's just all and then you have one mage and 2 warlocks.
Okay, yeah, so you got to have the one mage and the one warlock
but
at least.
You're running infinite melee, basically. This is like the 10 melee boss. If there was ever a 10 melee boss, this is the one. Double Holy Paladin also seems like it's pretty decent. Liquid, I know, played around with 6 healing it, or attempting to 6 heal it at some point, but once the enrage seemed a bit sus.
Little sussy.
Like Contessa from Lords of Dread. Then they back down to 5.
Yeah, so that's where the race stands right now. Echo calling an 8-hour emergency meeting. We'll be back in tomorrow to decide who to vote off, while Liquid are doing their tasks right now.
I have a strong suspicion that we will be seeing Ragallon tomorrow. I think that...
I think so as well. I don't think Lords of Dread holds up to even necessarily like 6 hours more of prog from Liquid. Like by the time this video is out, it may be outdated.
Yeah, it may be outdated. I think that Lords of Dread dies within 50 pulls. We talked about Ragallon a little bit the other day. I do still think it's going to be a bit of a damage check, but that's TBD. We'll see it whenever we see it. But yeah, beyond that, anything else?
Yeah, just it'll be interesting as well to see the Anduin from the guilds that are working on it. The 4 guilds working on Anduin, how long it takes them to take this thing out.
Okay, something I forgot. Do you think Anduin's going to catch a massive nerf on the reset now? Because
I think there will be a compensatory nerf, right? They'll like make the Wicked Stars work and then take a huge amount of damage off of Empowered Hopebreaker or something.
It's so unfortunate because like the Empowered Wicked Star is like the core mechanic of the last phase.
Right.
And it is such a massive nerf to not have it be enabled.
Yeah, it is a pretty big oopsie from Blizzard on that one.
Unfortunate situation.
That's how it goes though. Still, I think overall a pretty great progression experience on that boss, but definitely did end in a bit of a weird way.
Echo ended up spending like 6 hours after the bug fix came in to even kill it, so it's not free.
Right, yeah, I mean, it certainly won't be. I mean, even getting to that point is very hard, but it does make the last phase progression much less of a potential roadblock for SK Pieces, Skyline Method, and BDGG, who are all currently working on it. That's going to be it, though, for our wrap-up for today. We'll be back tomorrow to let you know what's went on with Lords of Dread Rygalon, maybe some more speculation about how many resets this thing's going.
Who killed the jailer?
Yeah, maybe the jailer dies tomorrow. Copium. We all can catch our flights back home.
There's no way the jailer dies tomorrow. Dude, that would be such a lackluster experience.
Yeah, that would certainly be an underwhelming end to a race that has been built up so much by particularly Halandras, but even Anduin for those first 200 pulls.
I'm really enjoying the race. We'll be back tomorrow with some more coverage. Hopefully we'll have some Rylon stuff to talk about, and we will see you guys later. Goodbye.
Potty mouth.
Nah, I don't fucking care.
Oh my god, you did it again! I can't believe this.
Who cares?